Hmm.
Okay.
How's everybody doing? We all good?
Yeah, I'm good,
Anyways,
man.
I was just saying that I don't trust when a vast majority of the biologists did not chime in on their opinion of the matter. So I feel like that's a very biased use of data when you
It,
recognize that study did ask 65,000 biologists and only 5,000 chimed in.
it's not bias.
I agree with what B. Pagan said.
It
These
it is
extraterrestrials are
biased.
growing pictures of the phone.
I don't know.
That
I kind
what?
of do feel that it is wrong just to take the small portion out of the majority and trying to use that as a statistic. Because if one of my talks I was in yesterday, we're talking about the systematic racism, and how they sent out a certain number of blank resumes with certain names on them. One was African American majority names and white names, and the white
Hmm.
names got picked more than the African American names. But if you actually looked into the survey, it actually showed that out of all those surveys that came back, only a small portion were actually returned, and the ones that were returned didn't actually have that big of a marginalization. Granted,
Yeah,
only one name was picking more, but it wasn't all of them. So therefore, you're
right,
kind of grab a statistic off of a not fully
My
filled
thing is
out.
she's picking
right.
out one. And I'll pull up more if I want because I'm working on it right now, and this is why I always hate the burden of proof. But I'm gonna trust the American College of Pediatrics, which agree the predominant human biological research confirms that human life begins at conception slash fertilization. At fertilization, the human being emerges as a whole, uh, genetic, uh, genetically distinct, individualized, zygote living human organism, a member of the species Homo sapiens, needing only the proper environment in order to grow and develop. The difference
Right.
between the
Which if that proper development is destroyed, let's say the female dies, the
now do you
uterus
want to
carrier
okay
dies.
want to talk about the development and everything like that, but this is the College of Pediatrics, so you're claiming I'm using one study.
I'm not
I
saying that it's
tear
not a
that
form
apart
of
because
human development. I'm saying
every
that it's not a life. It is not a life independent of itself that has rights. That's all
but
I'm saying. I'm
but
not saying that it's not part of human development. I mean, a
but that
sperm is part of
also.
human development. A sperm has independent chromosomes that dictate whether the sex of the fetus will be male or female. That doesn't mean that I'm going to legislate whether or not men ejaculate. The fact I'm just saying I don't disagree that it's a process. You know what else is a process? 40 to 60% of fertilized eggs never implant, never actually go to term, never actually have the process of even an existence or possibility of personhood. And yet
right.
we know that, and yet we're going to demand women and uterus carriers to carry something they have not consented to carry, violating their bodily autonomy, putting them in financial possibility ruins, putting them in emotional ruins that could possibly destroy their mental health, and then putting them in maybe a dangerous situation, many issues like domestic violence, or possibly a situation where they're not safe if they carry a child to term in their surroundings, or it could put them on the street. Like, we don't know people's situations, and yet we think it's acceptable to demand the use of other people's bodies to sustain the possibility of life. And I don't think that's acceptable.
Huh.
Consent is not spreading your legs. Consenting to sex is not consenting to parenting. I'm sorry. This is the most ignorant argument. Women and men both have sex for a variety of reasons, and not always for producing children. The end. Like, please stop.
I
So
agree with
you're
that.
you're confirming a natural biological process versus purposely ending a life.
Doesn't matter. It's the fact that we
No, it does.
recognize that even fertilization does not guarantee personhood, and yet
What
we are demanding that a person carries and uses their body, which is required. Like, if she died from a variety of reasons, that fetus would not exist, and yet we expect her to use her body and demand the use of her resources, her bodily resources, to sustain another life. That's like me saying, would you be okay with the government mandating that we donate blood, so to make sure that we have the right amount to keep every person that needs a blood transfusion alive in the United States? Do you think that would be
do
a
you
legal
realize how
course of action?
and you don't let people speak as well, by the way, which I mean, it's fine if you want to do that, but your
No, I don't
arguments
want
are
to do that.
yes, sex is also done for more than just having children, right? But the possibility always exists that you can produce a human life. Once you have produced a human life, you have responsibility to that human life. If we want to go through the biological process of eggs, not even fertilized eggs, just not being attaching to the uterine wall, so that the embryo starts growing with the zygote or whatever you want to refer to it as, fine, we can talk about that. But it is a natural process versus you going in and ending something intentionally. And that is being dishonest as an argument when you bring it up.
It's not being dishonest. Again, do you think we should legislate other people's bodily autonomy? In other words, their blood transfusion, demanding people donate blood so that we have enough stockpile to ensure that every person that needs blood has access. Do you think that should be illegal? Do you think that's okay?
Did I bring life into existence?
I want your answer.
Did I bring that life into existence? No.
Okay, what if it's your own child? Do you think the law should force you to donate blood to your own child?
If it was my own
you've
child,
chosen not to? I'm not asking what you would do. I'm asking legality.
I would have to give every drop of my blood. Yes, I would give every drop of my blood.
Great. I'm glad that you would do that. I'm not asking what you would do personally. I'm asking legality.
You did.
Would you think... No, I asked legality. Do you think the government should demand that a parent of a child is required to give their blood if they are living, existing, and need a blood transfusion to survive?
I do. You don't.
You think the law should force someone to do that? Really?
100%.
That seems like a very anti-constitutional, anti-freedom mindset.
Want to save its life?
I didn't say I wouldn't want to. I'm asking you legality. Would you demand that?
I just said yes. How many times do you want me to say yes? Yes, yes,
you
yes.
Keep saying
we're clear.
Okay, so you're someone who believes in the Constitution also believes that we should have people dictating what we do with our blood, and how it's used.
If it's my child, yes. If it's anyone else that I am not responsible for, that I did not bring onto this good earth, no.
So even though someone doesn't want to donate their blood for whatever reason, you don't think they should have the right to say no, even if it's their child?
What? One more time.
I think that's insane.
What's insane?
That you would demand other people donate their blood just because you think it's morally accurate.
Okay, well, I think it's insane that you murder babies, but
I don't murder babies. I did have an abortion though, and then I went on to have 3 beautiful, healthy children.
I mean, potato.
I got to,
I'm wrong because I would give my my blood, and I think it should be legislated that parents should give their blood to save their kids. But you want to murder them, so I mean, potato, right?
Again, you're talking about something that does not have the ability to exist without another life source. So it's not really potato.
You don't have the ability to exist.
If I died tomorrow, my 3 children in my home would all live on. If I died 8 weeks pregnant, they wouldn't. There's a vast difference between someone being demanded to use their bodily autonomy and also putting their medical life at risk and their financial life at risk and their social, emotional, mental health life at risk to carry something they are not consenting to. Do you believe life of the mother should be a factor?
Yeah.
So in that essence, you're going to give hierarchy to the mother, but in all other essences, you're going to give them equal rights to life.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. That's not consistent.
To save the mother's life.
Right, but what if the fetus could possibly live if the mother continues to carry to term and risk her life, loss of life? Okay, so again, why do they have a high? Okay, great. Why do you give rights to life a hierarchy to the mother in that instance, even though there's a possibility of life for the child, but then demand equality in any other argument?
Because the mother's life is in danger. In that situation, it is imminently in danger.
Doesn't matter. You're not listening to what I'm saying. You're not listening to what I'm saying.
And by the way, the argument you're bringing up, which I've done a lot of research into this, at that stage, do you know how often and how likely it is that they actually need to end the baby's life? It's virtually nil. And the baby
it doesn't matter. It does happen.
Survives. I mean,
no, there are instances where the woman's life. No, there are instances in second trimester pregnancies that the fetus will not live on its own, and the mother will put her life in imminent danger if she continues to carry for 1 to 2 more weeks, but may do that for the child to survive, so that the child reaches a point where they are viable. So my question to you is, if those
babies overwhelmingly survive when these situations occur.
Doesn't matter. It's the fact that you're giving hierarchy to one life in one instance and not hierarchy in all the other instances.
What?
The point of my argument here is, again, you are giving hierarchy to the mother in this one instance, recognizing that the child may live, and yet not giving them the same hierarchy in any other instance, even though the mother is not wanting the pregnancy? What if their mental health means that she's going to terminate her life? If a woman walked in and said, if I can't have an abortion, I'm going to take my own life, do you think that warrants an abortion? Her life is in imminent danger.
Put under psychiatric care and looked at, and should meet with psychologists. But 100%, you don't murder them. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So again, you're not being consistent. That's cool. Whatever. You're not. You're not. You're literally giving value to one person over the other in one instance and not the other.
Her life
doesn't matter.
There's not an external force that is uncontrollable that is happening to her. That's a straw man. Once again, you're full of straw men, and I love it.
Straw man.
Great.
It's not a straw man.
It is. And you know,
it's
the
really
only
not.
way you can try to have an argument like this is to go to one-off extremes.
See,
I think that there should be no excuse for any of it. So
I hate the argument where it says
oh, he froze.
Yeah, I think he's
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I think he's working something.
Okay.
Hey folks, sorry about that. My phone overheated. I'll bring everybody back in. Just give me 1 second. Green screen, background. Yep. You guys still in here? To send a request to hop back in, I'll let you guys back in. My phone overheated. I'll bring y'all. Come back in.
Yeah, you really were.
Oh, that's so weird. It's showing you in my live, but it's not showing you in my box.
I see you.
Mike. Yeah.
Hey, what's happening, everybody?